People with underlying health conditions, as you probably know, have been the most vulnerable to COVID-19. That includes people who responded to the terrorist attack on 9/11 19 years ago. Channel 3's Rebecca Castor is live with the concerns from those responders, many of whom now live in Florida and feel more at risk as the state remains a COVID-19 hotspot. Rebecca?
Nearly 2 decades after 9/11 terror attack, first responders and survivors who developed illnesses from breathing in the toxins at Ground Zero now feel that they are more at risk for COVID-19. Larry Rappe deployed from Pensacola to New York City hours after the Twin Towers were hit. His wife Paula tells me he spent nearly 10 days at Ground Zero, breathing air contaminated with pulverized building materials. Years later, he is now one of many first responders whose life was cut short after he developed a respiratory disease.
I remember him saying when he came home that he couldn't believe that out of all of those offices, he only saw one monitor intact. The rest was all in the air.
Larry passed before the COVID-19 pandemic. Now Paula, who has felt the pain of losing her husband to a 9/11 related illness, wants others to know when it comes to the coronavirus, they can prevent other heroes from falling sick.
Their health is in jeopardy, and we need to be very considerate of that. So I would encourage everyone to think about that when they're out and about, and do wear a mask, do social distancing.
Attorney Michael Barish, whose firm represents thousands of 9/11 responders and survivors, including 1,500 in Florida, says 25 of the people he represents have already died from COVID-19. He expects that number to tragically increase once medical examiners complete autopsies.
We are seeing so many people with COPD, asthma, respiratory problems who are so at risk now. And since 68 cancers have been linked to the World Trade Center toxins, and most of those people have received chemotherapy, their immune systems are shot.
Barish tells me if a first responder or survivor with an underlying health condition linked to 9/11 does pass away from COVID-19, their family could receive up to $250,000 in compensation. Now, those in the 9/11 community tell me people following the CDC guidelines is one thing they can do to help protect those who answered the call to serve on September 11th, 2001. Live in Escambia County, I'm Rebecca Castor.